Hello, welcome to our weekly workshops with Erin, Byron. This week we're following the book Yoga for the Creative Soul in part 2 of the book, chapter 8, which is teaching about the path of the heart, the path of devotion, love, joy, and interfacing with grief as we focus on this heart center and how to draw forth our true selves, our creative spirits from the heart space. I'm coming to you today from the traditional lands of the Anishnawbe, the Haudenosaunee, and the neutral people along the banks of the Grand River. I encourage you to see upon whose lands you are occupying through treaty, theft, or occupation at native-lands.ca, which does give you a global map so that you can learn more about the original peoples. To begin today, as we're moving forward with letting this path of the heart support us in resolving our traumas, coming more into mental health, mental balance, and connection with the true self through yoga, through expressive arts, we'll begin with a centering practice. And if you have seen the previous video on connecting practice to the heart, some of this might be familiar. We're elaborating from last week's practice, and we're here every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern. The link is in the description below. You're welcome to join anytime and share this video with anyone you think might benefit. So for centering, sometimes we'll start just with a little personal movement if we've been seated for a long time, or if the stiffness, aches, pains, needs for stretches, if the body's calling out for some movement, you can just let yourself go through a little bit of loosening up. In the original days, this was some of the purpose of asana, was to prepare the body for meditation, to bring more quietude through the physical self, which is then translated through the breath, through the emotions and state of mind. And if you are stretching, if you are loosening up, let this also be a time to connect to the breath and notice what thoughts and feelings are moving through. As you're seated, similarly, coming into present awareness, affirming this is me in this moment. And as we settle into this moment, noticing if we can create more space with the breath. Just pausing after each inhale in case there's a bit more for the body to take in. And pausing after each exhale in case there's a little more the body wants to release. Oftentimes when we ground, when we center ourselves, we start from the earth, grounding into the earth. It can be useful, especially for people who live with busy minds, high stress, a lot of anxiety, people who tend to be sped up. If we're very much in our heads, finding the feet is actually a very long way to travel. So it can serve us at times to begin from the top and ground from the top down. So today, as we are holding a shared intention of connecting to heartfelt devotion, to passing grief, passing happiness, plugging into a more abiding sense of joy or contentment, more spiritual than emotional qualities. We'll begin by imagining the space that we are in, imagining the entire body from the outside, sensing, feeling, creating a mental image of your personal space. As we become balanced, healthy boundaries are a part of mental emotional balance. You may affirm, this is my space. I am held in the light and love of my personal energy. And trusting that that bubble around your body is fortified, strong and semi-permeable, letting in all that serves you, bouncing off all that does not. And trusting that that bubble around your physical space remains intact, remains semi-permeable without your conscious direction, can bring your awareness to the center of the top of the head. You might imagine that space from the top of your energy egg, the inside ceiling of your energy egg, down to the crown of your head, filled with white light, nourished, healthy. And as your focus remains on the crown, there is a soothing through the mind. Neurological activity, focusing in the prefrontal cortex, more meditative place in the brain. And the brow clears, forehead relaxing. Mind settling, focusing, forehead relaxing. The soothing moves through the space behind the eyeballs. All the tiny structures of the eyes relaxing, settling. Through the inner ear and the sinuses. Nasal passage, jaw, mouth, tongue, lips, And as the mind focuses, as the brain and sense organs relax, you may give a breath or two of awareness to the center of the forehead, midbrain, center of the back of the head. Welcoming insight, without judgment, without commentary. Your awareness center connects to pure insight. Your focus carries itself on through to Vishuddha Chakra at the throat, feeling spacious, healthy, relaxed to the back of the throat, larynx, esophagus, back of the neck. Connecting to self-expression, freedom from judgment as this bridge between the mind and the heart is soothed, responsive. It's common sometimes to need to swallow, clear the throat, cough as the energies at the throat chakra shift, cleanse, settle. And awareness flows, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, chest and upper back. Connect to the heart space, our current focus. This home of spiritual feelings. The root of the word courage, core, heart. The poets teach us that love lives here, and its counterpart, grief, may also live in these energy realms at the heart center. Joy, which transcends happiness, also has a home in the heart. You may focus inspiration here, that upward flow of prana when the lungs fill. You may choose to hold them full just briefly, lightening the body. It is said that the element of the heart is air. And with the heart as our focus today, let us imagine ourselves perched in the heart and looking upwards with open minds just to see. When we look up through the throat, the third eye, through the brain, through the crown, to that ceiling of our energetic space, what do we notice? You hear, see, smell, taste, perceive. And staying on this perch of the heart, you can take that noticing downwards to the more earthly associated chakras, towards the ground. As you sit in your heart space, what do you see as you look down? The abdomen, back, the hips, legs, feet, floor of your energy egg. Trusting, intending that this heart center carries on this balancing and cleansing process. Awareness does move down the ribs, down the back, to that central place, the solar plexus. The sun is the center of our solar system. It is said that the solar plexus lives in the center of the body. The heart is a bridge between upper and lower chakras, solar plexus living in the middle of the body. Feeling the warmth of this sun center connecting to the heat of purpose, intention, spiritual duty, personal duty. Balancing the organs, balancing the sense of self. And awareness moves down, lower in the abdomen, lower in the back, to the sacrum, to the hara, 2 inches below the navel. Storehouse of healing. Feelings of this body, feelings of this person that you are today. The heart is holding spiritual feelings. Svadhisthana in the low abdomen might be holding material feelings, embodied feelings, passing emotions. Following awareness down, hips, legs, feet. And you may center awareness at the soles of the feet, or you may center awareness at the base of the spine. Perineum. Grounding. Feeling like a life form sprouting from the earth, growing out of that place underground where so much life is interconnected, nourished. Cool. And just as a planted seed can sprout from that rich soil, you may plant an intention grounded there at your base. And trust these energies to grow that intention. Root, sacrum, solar plexus, blossoming in the heart. And if it helps connect once more to that heart center, you may bring your hands into Anjali Mudra with the palms together. Place the thumbs in to the breastbone, or you may lay your palms flat over your heart center if that supports connection. Bowing the head, turning up the corners of the mouth. Thanking yourself for this grounding journey. With very little disruption, move into your creative space and depict highlights from that grounding journey. We moved through the prana body today, prana maya kosha, energy body, life force body as our grounding. And whether you are writing a descriptive paragraph, composing music, dancing, stitching, coloring, whatever expressive modality you've chosen, let it flow freely from you as you express these highlights in your own way. Heartfelt grounding. Doing your best to stay in that peaceful state of mind that was with you. If there are passages of thoughts and feelings in your awareness, let them flow. They may come in, you let them flow away as well. Staying with your breath, carrying your journey highlights with you and into expression. And as you express in immediate, authentic, embodied ways, I will reiterate some of the highlights of the journey that we acknowledged: our energy egg, our auric field, our personal space. We called upon calm and meditative focus in the brain and through the sense organs. We were with the crown, the third eye, the throat, And even now, as you express, you may check in with that throat chakra, that area of neck and shoulders, mouth and inner ear, and notice if there's any sense, anything to observe. There may or may not be. We acknowledge that this throat chakra is in the important place of bridging the heart, Anahata chakra, the heart, and the third eye. It is sometimes said that the longest journey in the world is from the head to the heart, from knowing something and embodying it. It can be quite a journey from the heart to the head to understand our feelings, our needs. Quite a journey of the throat itself to hear the truth, to understand, to express. When we were hanging out in Anahata at the heart center, we looked around from the vista, from the point of view of the heart, from the lookout of the heart. We looked up and saw from that viewpoint, what was it we were looking up into? When we looked down, what did we see? From a chakra that's oriented above the lower three. We also set an intention, planted like a seed in the earth, and let that intention blossom in the heart. Connected consciously to identity and purpose. Some of those qualities that live in the solar plexus. Gave a nod to the cosmos, to outer space, our own solar system. As we moved into the sacral chakra, we touched on feelings. Human emotion. And through the grounding practice, when we met our ground, we played with ideas of planting, the connectedness of the underground space. Any single aspect of that journey may have occurred to you, may be the focus of your expressive activity today. Maybe many components are coming through, or maybe today's centering visualization took you somewhere, and it is that journey or destination that you are expressing. This is the beauty of expressive arts and why they are so important for our mental health. They are for us. It is not a commissioned work. It is not something we are attempting to design with the end in mind. The act of expression is supporting us in working through and understanding aspects of our whole person well-being that we might not otherwise have access to understand and resolve. Expressive arts move beyond language, connect us to a deeper truth, and give us greater freedom of possibility. So before we close the recording, we'll give a chance to the people who are here in real time. If there is anyone that wants to share their expression on camera to the world, you're welcome to do so. And of course, always welcome to pass. Save it for an off-camera moment. Hi, Karen.
So I was just reabsorbing so much of our recap of our journey, and I really appreciated it so much, Erin. And what came to light right in the beginning was when I was doing the movement, I kind of did this sort of creative transition from one shape to another, but then we were at the crown of the head, and we were centering and everything. And my mind was saying, I have to do the other side. And then I was like, authentic, no, you don't have to. So duty came up, but it was like not duty for myself. It was like duty to others, and expectation in yoga, you always have to do both sides and all of that stuff. So I was like, no, I'm going to be true to myself and take this time to relax and to absorb what you were saying instead. And so that became the seed that I planted during later on in our visualization journey as well. And then so I wrote a little poem. It says, authentic is true, not what others think we should see, feel, or do. That's the poem. And then I had this vision of like a little, just a brambly kind of vine. It's not, it's authentic, it feels okay to be what it is. And it has berries that are heart-shaped. So thank you.
Oh, it's great, Karen. Thank you for sharing that, for reciting your poem. How sweet, and reminding us of some of those aspects of yoga that might be elusive sometimes. Muted one of the participants. So to unmute you, I have to just ask you to unmute, but you actually don't have to. If you don't want to share or you want to stay off, that's fine, but I want to give you the chance because it reverts to the host. So I'm reading that as a pass from others, and I'll wrap us up for today. Okay. I'll wrap us up for today. So thank you, everyone who is here in real time. I love our off-camera check-ins and the chance to carry on the conversation when the recording stops. Anyone is welcome to join anytime. Links in the description. Link is in the Yoga for the Creative Soul Facebook group. And we shall carry forth through chapter 8, delving into the text and activities therein next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for engaging with all that we're offering here. And until next time, I wish you the best.